guess. Yeah. All right, we have just crossed. We're making a hard right turn. And when we get starting already. Yeah, when you get about here, your cell phones will start going off with your messages about how getting service in Mexico and how much it's going to cost. When we get to the end up here, we're going to make the hard left into all the entry lanes into Mexico, and that's where you're going to want to start getting over to the right as soon as possible, because eventually you're going to want to make the right choice being on the far right when you're in Mexico to get the road along the border towards the beach. So
except that the far right lane is to declare stuff.
That's true. When we're going through the border entry lines up here, you'll see the far right lanes mean you're declaring a purchase or something. You don't want to be in that lane.
But once we're through the border lines, you're going to want to get all the way to the right. You'll see that in a minute.
This has been a really busy day. We've been in line here for about 10 or 15 minutes all the way back into the freeway back up into San Diego here. There's something going on. It's slowing everybody down today.
Message from 90008005330.
So you can see the sign up here. Far right is if you have something to declare, which none of us will. But now these 4 or 5 lanes spread out into like 20. So I want to kind of get to the right, but just not all the way to the right, if that makes sense. Because once we go through this, we're going to want to kind of be in the first right we can get. But it'll make sense here in a minute, I hope. So I don't know if the right one or the left one's for us here. I just kind of hang out until I get a green. I'll take that one. So they're reading our plates. Just kind of go slow. Got a green light. So I guess in theory they could pull you into a little inspection here. But we didn't get the red light, so we're good. Hopefully they don't pull us over. Turn that off, no filming. Oh. Okay, part 2. They didn't like us filming, but here we are. Coming through. So now you can see 3 signs up there. We went the far right. It says Playas de Tijuana. So we're gonna work our way over. So now you want the far right, heading up this ramp. And if you see the map, this is going to just follow all the way along the border fence. There's the river that flows right into San Diego. So that was the first thing you had to do, make this right turn. And once you did that successfully, you're funneled in here, and you're on this until you make the first possible left. And then once you make that left, you're in the neighborhood of the Casa Madres.
Once you see the big steep hill coming up, you're going to want to be in the left-hand lanes because we're going to take an off-ramp from this road that goes off the left, not the right. So you can see the big steep hill up ahead. You can start getting over in the left-hand lanes.
So we are December 21st, 2 o'clock, so it should look a lot like this a week from today when you guys do this. To the right is the border fence, there's U.S. Border Patrol. So up here on the mountain, you're actually looking at San Diego right next to Tijuana, side by side. The outlet mall you just left is directly about, you could probably hit a golf ball to it on the right hand side. And Casa Madres is probably even closer on the left where we're going. So we're starting to go up the hill here, so we'll make our very first possible left. It'll dump us right into the neighborhood.
Okay, these two signs are showing us where we're going to make the left off-ramp here. If you stayed on the right, you'd be going over the hill towards the beach. We are taking the off-ramp on the left here.
Frac Soler, Zona Rio. So the Google Map directions show a couple options here. One is a cloverleaf to the right that I think is blocked or not. So you can hang a U-turn there and go back to San Diego. And it looks like it's now open. Hanging a U here is also a possibility to get to Casa Madres. There's a few different ways, but once you're in here, you're going to make your first left. And you never see it coming. It's really kind of hairy looking. I think this is it here.
I think it is before the curve, yeah.
So here's a good visual. The steeples there are Casa Madres.
That steeples you see is a block from Casa Madres where we're headed.
We're turning by the sign here. Monraz.
Going down a steep hill.
And we are literally a couple blocks away. Straight ahead you see the outlet mall you just left. So we are like a block from the border here. And we're right here at Abarotes Refus, something like that. And now we're going to stay on this till we get to, is it Mar Baltico?
Mar Baltico.
All the streets here are called Mar something. And there's this Mar Baltico. Sometimes it's hard to find. Let's see this one. It's also that road that you saw the steeples for. It's the same street as the big church. So here's Mar Blanco. Not this one. Mar del Norte.
And I see the steeples to the right, so I think the next street is ours, Mar Baltico.
And speed bumps are bigger than they appear.
Yeah.
Potholes are bigger than they appear. So get your alignment done after the 28. Mar Baltico. Here's our right. So here's some. Kind of look for that lot.
There's the steeples on the church. When you get to the church, you're at the place.
They're on the left-hand side.
Right.
And where all these cars are parked.
There.
Right here.
There could be something going on at the church here today, too.